All right, perfect. Well, thanks for joining us today. I know you guys oftentimes have very busy schedules, so I appreciate you spending a little bit of extra time learning a little bit more about the Updox and eMDs relationship and how this partnership can really help you guys increase the revenue brought back into your practice. So if you're utilizing eMDs today for revenue cycle management, that's half the battle of really increasing the revenue and kind of maximizing every dollar for your practice. They handle the billing and collection side of it. So Updox steps in with the CRM platform, which allows you to do a lot of that front of house type management, whether that's documentation or the way you engage with your patients. Specifically, today we're going to be focused on scenarios that help you engage patients and drive revenue. So for example, the CRM stuff you can look forward to seeing is new patient information, an easy and simplified way to get that in the practice before your patient gets into the practice, getting insurance cards pre-visit, and then secure communication back and forth with your patients, as well as other providers to ensure that you're driving the most revenue and the most impact in those relationships. Alrighty, your office staff is busy, obviously. Your providers are overwhelmed with patients and non-clinical paperwork, and oftentimes providers and their staff are forced to chart on the weekends or after business hours just to stay on top of all of the administrative duties, kind of hindering your production during the day. Updox collaboration platform can add some relief to your days with simplified workflows to engage your patients easier, alert patients and colleagues to new services at your practice, create a more predictable schedule, and most importantly, free up time to do more of the focusing on your patients or their care as you would like to do during the day. Obviously, you don't get into healthcare to do paperwork. You got into healthcare to help your patients. So what we provide alongside eMDs is a way to do that. Now, as eMDs states on their website, no outcome is no income. Today, we'll step through just a few scenarios that better enable your staff to communicate effortlessly with patients to improve your outcomes while simultaneously driving provider connections and building patient loyalty. It's important to understand that with Updox, we can help you improve that patient loyalty, not just adherence, but also make them loyal to your brand and to your business, and also how to drive that revenue in easy ways. Now, it's important to understand that patient adherence is extremely critical to your practice. But alongside that, the loyalty aspect, making sure that you're creating loyal patients so they're not looking for services elsewhere, making sure that you're driving all of that revenue possible and you're really optimizing the solutions you have with your EHR, whether that be RCM or the solutions you have fully integrated with your EHR, Updox, to really engage your patients in the most meaningful way and making sure that they are educated, informed, at least adherent to their care plan for the most part, to really improve the practices at your business. So if you're not setting the bar high enough for yourselves in terms of patient engagement, you risk losing patients to other practices that are. And in the age of instant gratification through technology, you have to start supplying your patients with access to you and your staff at all times of day. This may not mean expanding staff hours or expanding business hours, but allowing them the chance to ask you questions or look on your website, try to figure out what sort of availability you have that aligns with their schedule. Your patients are acting more and more as consumers, and with that, they want to be connected to you in the most convenient way possible. Just a quick stat here, 97% of Americans use text messaging, and 90% of texts are read within the first 3 minutes. So when thinking about how to engage your patients in the most meaningful way without hindering your staff productivity, text message really opens up to be the most beneficial practice. With Updox, you can leverage our system, our platform, to do just that with your patients. Don't care how, I want it now. Engagement is truly what drives the revenue when it comes to Updox. I don't know if you got the reference, but Violet Beauregard from Willy Wonka said this quote, and it's true, consumers want instant gratification when it comes to how you are connecting with them, communicating with them, answering their questions. They want to be sure that the practice that they choose is going to be able to sustain these convenient methods of communication. Now, how exactly does Updox help you do this? We are an all-in-one collaboration hub. We are completely web-based, fully integrated with eMD Solution Series and Practice Partner. Today, we're going to discuss specifically the Engagement Solution Suite. So not only are we streamlining all of your manual communication with our integrated fax platform and all of the other solution suites we provide, but every piece of our Engagement Solution Suite enables staff to communicate through your patient's mobile device without hindering the daily workflow. The following benefits come from Updox, specifically with automated appointment reminders, broadcast messaging, and secure text messaging. We're going to go quickly through each of these solutions, the key benefits driven from those, whether that be patient loyalty or direct revenue. And then we're also going to go through a little bit of a workflow to show you exactly what that user experience looks like on your end. So to start, we're going to go through automated appointment reminders. The key benefits with automated appointment reminders are the first, patient loyalty by reaching your patients in a way that they prefer. Direct revenue by freeing up staff time making reminders calls. So I think the stat is 73% of all revenue generated for a practice goes to overhead costs. By freeing up that staff time, that is return on investment immediately, money back in your pocket. Also, direct revenue, reduction in costly no-shows. So eliminating those no-shows on a weekly basis and then also creating a more predictable schedule. That helps with not only revenue, but also patient loyalty by making sure that your patients aren't having long wait times and there isn't a long delay in between your patients and you're able to better get in the room and get in front of them. That will only increase the patient loyalty as well. And then also a double hitter, automation, so quietly running in the background of your workday. This is going to improve staff satisfaction by alleviating the time spent on the phone trying to track down your patients, improves patient satisfaction as well, obviously. If you're communicating with them and reminding them of their appointment over the phone or through text message or email based on their preference, they're going to be a lot more satisfied with your care and more likely to really adhere to your care plan. And then also that direct revenue, so that extra money for your staff being on the phone where they could be executing on other daily administrative tasks. And then also freeing up the phone line, not having to pay for an extra phone line just in case if you are doing those dedicated manual reminder calls, you can kind of alleviate the cost associated with those. Now, just a couple screen options. So this is exactly what the reminder setup will look like when you sign up for Updox. We do have free support and free implementation. So it's going to be really, really easy and a one-time setup for your practice. With this, you're able to choose by your patient preferences. So they will pull directly from your eMD's patient preferences. And you can segment those calls or emails or text messages to go out based on your preference up to 2 weeks out. So when you set up those reminder calls, texts, and emails, it makes it really, really easy and automated all in the background for you. You can also block out times. So if you prefer to not call your patients after 7 p.m., no worries. You can set that preference directly in Updox. You can also set preferences to not go out during the weekends or evenings. And then we also provide you out-of-the-box scripts. So if you have specific appointment types that you know you're sending the same message for, you can choose among all of our templates, or you can create your own customizable templates that will be based on the appointment type. The next solution we're going to talk about is our broadcast messaging. So when you are trying to alert your entire team as well as all of your patients of an immediate closure of your practice, this will be a simple use case for that. Some of the key benefits for group messaging, specifically with Updox, is the money driven from alerting patients of upcoming clinics to access new treatment. So educating and informing them on advancements in their care plan or advancements at your practice to really help them get educated and maintain their health. Notifying existing or new referral sources of services offered at your practice to remain front of mind. This is just going to be a simple way for you to lump in a list of those referral sources that you already have, as well as adding new ones into your address book, which syncs in real time to Updox. This is a really cool way that you can kind of blast message and notify them of new services, or wish them a happy birthday if you have that information, or just let them know that you hope they're having a good holiday. All of these ways are building those relationships in a more positive way, making sure that your practice is staying at the forefront of their mind when they're either referring or trying to get referrals from practices. So just an easy way to expand on that referral network. And then also messaging groups of at-risk patients to educate them and keep them adherent to the plan you have. We've seen some use cases with some of the practices already using broadcast messaging. Specifically, we have an eMDs user using it to alert parents at a pediatric clinic about upcoming physicals, kind of get everybody in. They've used it for flu clinics. If you've seen some of our recent webinars during the winter months, driving for flu clinics is a big way to use broadcast messaging, getting everybody in and making sure that you're utilizing that income directly from those vaccinations. And the next solution, we're going to talk to the blast functionality. So this is what it would look like within Updox if you were to set up a broadcast message, and then also what it would look like coming from your practice to your patient. Now, it will look like it's coming from your practice number, making it really, really easy for them to identify. If they already have your number saved in their phone, should be pretty simple for them to see, oh, my practice is texting me. Great. They know it's important. They probably need to check it out. At-risk patients, I think the example used here is letting you know that we're doing like a diabetes clinic or a flu clinic. Also, if you have flu symptoms, please let us know so we can get you in beforehand, get you checked out, and ensure that you're not actually suffering from the flu. These are just some simple use cases to drive revenue back into your practice with broadcast messaging. And again, this is what it would look like had they clicked on the information in your text message. Pulling it right up into a browser in the convenience of their own home, in the convenience of their own phone, or even jumping on the computer to kind of pull that up. Just really convenient ways to build out that patient loyalty, but also drive direct revenue. The final solution we're going to talk about within the Updox engagement solution suite is secure text messaging. This is one of our newer products that's kind of been hyped up quite a bit by our current users because it's something that they never really had access to before. We do have a non-secure SMS text messaging within the Updox platform, but being able to send a secure message and share results and send a little bit more of those intimate details with your patient, sending PHI through text messaging. This is a really, really great way to do that. Some of the key benefits of secure text messaging are going to be retrieving billing and insurance info before the visit to free up your staff time. So a lot of that staff time when the patient actually gets into the appointment is kind of going through their paperwork, making sure that they've got everything in file, making sure they have the insurance up to date, getting their card on file if you can. Some practices do this pre-visit, a lot of practices do not, but this would be a really quick, easy way to start doing that. Implementing that would free up your staff time that it takes to usually get that stuff done during the visit and get your patient in the room faster. Again, reducing staff time spent playing phone tag with patients. If you have results for your patient that you'd wish to share and they've okayed the fact that they're cool with you sending it over text message, this will alleviate that back and forth associated with trying to get your patient on the phone. If you are anything like me, I have my phone at all times, but there's about zero chance that I'm going to answer a phone call when it first comes in if I do not know the number. So if your practice staff is busy trying to get these patients on the phone to share information with them, a lot of times they're not going to answer. And the statistic is it takes up to 3 tries to actually get your patient on the phone. So 3 tries, that's 5 minutes of staff time trying to locate the number, dial the number, sit on the phone, wait for it to ring, and then leaving a voicemail. That's a ton of time that they could be working on other things or having that valuable FaceTime with your patients. So just a quick, easy use case there. And then also sharing results and care plan management to ensure adherence. This is just a quick and easy way within your current workflow with Updox to securely compose a message to your patients, Share those results with them. Give them the option of replying to your message, and also just making sure that they're adhering to the care plan, giving them as much information as you can. Knowledge is power. And then offering peace of mind to your patients with a more convenient method of communication, allowing them to reply back to you and making sure that you're alerting them to things directly in their phone where they're already on most of the time, is just allowing them to have a little bit more peace of mind, knowing that their practice really cares about the way they want to be communicated with, but also respecting their time. If they have to answer your phone call, if they have to chat with you and ask questions, they might be in a meeting, they might be about town, they might be with their family. They don't necessarily want to answer the phone. They know it's important and they really want to ask you questions, but they don't always answer just based on those phone preferences. So being able to text them in a convenient way is going to help your practice really engage them, but also get them back into the practice and make sure that they're adhering to your care plan. Very strategic ways to use this solution. Also providing 24 access to the practice by allowing patients to message you first. This is a little bit scary for some practices to think about because they think, oh no, I don't want to expand my hours. I don't want to give 24 access to a patient to message me. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to respond, but allowing them that comfort of knowing that if they do have a question and they don't feel comfortable putting it in the patient portal and they want to directly message with a staff member one-to-one, they can do that. You can set preferences within the Updox platform to allow your patients to ask you a question first or prompt a conversation with secure text. So this is going to be really, really easy for those patients that don't always want to come into the practice but still want to keep your staff on the phone all day long. This is going to be a really cool way to allow them to message you if they don't prefer to message you through the patient portal. Or if you don't have a patient portal, this will be a good substitute for that. And just the user experience here. This is what it would look like to compose a secure text message. We actually give you, if you look toward the bottom check marks in the compose screen, we allow you to pick whether or not you want to send a secure message or not. So if you wanted to just send an on-the-fly text message that doesn't necessarily have to be secure and prompt them to kind of open another window, you can do that as well. But we also want to give you the option to share results, to share files, to share that little bit more sensitive information with your patients as well through text message. And then this is what it would look like going back and forth. You've all seen text messages, I'm sure. So just allowing them to reply and add that convenience to messaging with your staff members. Now, when they first get the secure text message, a lot of people are concerned about secure and HIPAA compliant. How can a text message be HIPAA compliant? With HIPAA regulations, you have to have a two-step verification process with secure text messaging to make it secure. The first step is going to be sending it to the patient's number. Obviously, you wouldn't have their number unless they had given it to you, unless you're Googling people, which is weird. And then you also have to verify your birth date when you get the text message. So that two-step verification process, making it simple for your patient, but also letting them know and having that peace of mind that it is secure and it is HIPAA compliant and that their information is not just getting out there to the world. So just a quick quote from one of our eMDs users. He has truly been an advocate for our engagement suite, really utilizing it to the best of its ability and teaching us really how to use it in a maximized way. So leveraging Updox alongside eMDs has truly been a benefit for him when it comes to getting in front of his patients, getting in front of his patients' parents in a non-intrusive and a non-annoying way. And just a reminder, Updox is a full platform, so multiple solutions built into one platform. We call it the collaboration platform, including the engagement solution suite, the productivity solution suite, and our communication solution suite. You can pick and choose between the solution suites that you'd want, but the overall benefit is going to come when you utilize Updox at its full form alongside eMDs. And just an overview, we help you streamline the manual process. We help you empower your patients in their care by connecting with them in ways that they prefer. We help you directly generate new revenue, whether that be alerting patients to vaccinations coming up, or alerting your referral network that you have availability and new services to offer, and then driving those provider relationships, keeping you front of mind for that referral network so that you are maximizing those relationships at their best.